ESPN, the world's leader in motorsports coverage, welcomes you live to Bristol Raceway in Tennessee for the Goodies 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race. And once again, over 70,000 screaming wild race fans have squeezed into this half-mile facility to see the best in short track racing. It rained earlier this evening here at Bristol. However, the skies have cleared and a beautiful sunset is occurring here as the sun goes down over the mountains of Northeast Tennessee. This is the first race in the second half of the short track season. The quest for the Cup standings, Dale Earnhardt up 79 over Ernie Irvan. Mark Martin is back to third, but by just 7 over Rusty Wallace. Ken Schrader is 74 behind Rusty. Ricky Rudd leads the second 5, but only 296 points separate 6 through 10. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins. Welcome to our annual gathering under the lights here at Bristol, where the banks are at 36 degrees and there's trouble lurking behind every corner. I guarantee you, in the next 3.5 hours, we're going to squeeze in some exciting stock car racing for you here tonight. And I also guarantee you that in the next couple of minutes or so, squeezing as much information as possible, are 2 pit reporters, John Kernan and Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thanks, Bob, and hello, everyone. Now, 5 of the top 10 qualifiers are on Hoosier tires, including the entire front row. Jeff Bodine outside row 1, and our pole sitter, 54-year-old Harry Gant, making his final visit to Bristol International Raceway. But here's the question mark. How long will the Hoosier tires last? Many of these drivers believe that maybe 80 laps would be a push.
Kenny Wallace has been named to sub for Ernie Irvan while he's on the men. Kenny doing a great job, qualified 15th, but this morning in practice a little bit of a problem, backed it into the wall. But as you can see, the crew has fixed the car, and they say it's running almost as good as new.
Rusty Wallace brings his strongest mount to Bristol, Tennessee. This is midnight beside me. 8 out of 10 wins last year. This race car already won in 1994 at Rockingham and Dover. Rusty poised to pick up his 5th career win at Bristol International Raceway.
Dale Earnhardt is the points leader, but he's starting 14th on the grid tonight. That means he's basically in the middle of the pack. We've seen a lot of things happen very quickly at this racetrack. If he's going to maintain that points lead, he has to be cautious tonight.
If there's an emotional edge to any driver in the field, it belongs to one man. Mark Martin, sitting here in the Valvoline Ford. His best friend, Ernie Irvan, now beginning to recover. So Mark Martin wants to dedicate one win to Ernie. That win could come here tonight. By the way, he's a defending champion of the Goodies 500.
Well, for the second weekend in a row, John Andretti is back in the STP Pontiac, doing a great job last week at Michigan. But next week at Darlington, that's still a question mark. The team will get together on Monday and decide who to put in the car next Sunday.
A little trouble in qualifying for a couple of drivers at the back of the pack taking provisionals. We might mention Lake Speed is back there. And Todd Bodine, who had a problem with the steering box on Friday in qualifying, wrecked that car, went to a backup car. Also back there, the car number 22, Bobby Labonte, who qualified toward the front of the field, but wrecked his primary car in the final practice session. And we have to congratulate driver of the car number 10, the Tide Ford, Ricky Rudd, who starts back in 33rd spot. Ricky and Linda had an 8-pound, 3-ounce baby boy at 10:02 p.m. last night. Landon Lee Rudd was born. Ricky is back in the race car after just 3.5 hours sleep from Friday morning.
Well, guys, that was a lot of information to get in a relatively short period of time, but the cars would have made about 8 laps around here while they were doing that, Benny. So when they give those pit reports a little later on, they're going to have to do them quicker.
I tell you, folks, it's unbelievable. This is a half-mile racetrack, but they travel speeders up 135 miles per hour. The bank, 36 degrees. The corners are, these cars get around this racetrack unbelievably fast, around 15 seconds a lap.
Now, they haven't had any practice at night here at Bristol. Of course, this race is at night. All their practice and qualifying was in the daytime. It's going to be interesting how these cars do shake out once the green flag falls here in a few moments, Bob.
Gentlemen, the command has been given. The cars are warming up on pit road, and in just a few moments, they'll go onto the racetrack for a couple of warm-up laps. And then we'll be underway with 500, the most grueling laps in all of racing. Stay with us. International Raceway as the helipad getting set to bring you all the action. It's a .533 mile oval. The front stretch and the back stretch are each 650 feet in length. The corners banked at 36 degrees and the straightaways are banked at 16 degrees. Now, how about the race analysis? We'll go 500 laps. The pole speed is 124.186. That's 15.4 seconds. The race record is 101.074. The pit window anywhere between 145 and 155 laps, provided, of course, there are no yellows in that period. And they're racing for a purse of over $800,000.
And already the 22 car, Bobby Labonte, having some problems. The hood is up on that car. He crashed that car in practice this afternoon. This is a backup car. He has not had a lap on this car. Evidently got some type of problem already.
Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for tonight's race. On the pole is Harry Gant, his third career pole at Bristol in 31 races at 124.186, a new event record. Harry, of course, in his final year of competition. Jeff Bodine will start outside the front row in the Exide Batteries Ford car number 7. In the second row, it'll be Terry Labonte in the car number 5, Kellogg Chevrolet. Outside the second row from St. Louis, Missouri, in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford car number 2 will be Rusty Wallace. And as we take a look at the rest of the starting lineup, gentlemen, there are 8 drivers that are on Hoosier tires tonight, and all of them have qualified in the top 20.
And I tell you what, right now the crew chiefs are telling the drivers, look, this is Bristol. You got to be patient. Be patient. Now, in about 20 laps, when they get hung behind someone and can't get by them, the crew chief is going to say, pass that guy, pass that guy. So what do? Be patient. That's what you need to be.
Kenny Wallace will start inside row number 8. He won the Busch Grand National race here at Bristol last night, substituting for the injured Ernie Irvan. Jerry, what's the story on the 22 car?
Bob, we told you they went to a backup car. Apparently, when they pulled the backup car, they had to change the steering box, and they forgot to fill the steering box with fluid. They had to rapidly fill that steering box. It'd be tough to turn this track with no fluid in the steering box. He wouldn't turn for long, that's for sure, but they were able to fill it, and we're set for green flag racing.
They'll go at least one more lap. Ned, we hear so much about pitting on the backstretch. There are 18 pit positions here on the front stretch. Is it as much of a factor now as it was a couple of years ago?
Not as much now, Bob, because what they're doing is speeding up the pace car after it drops off the cars on the front stretch, so the others can get, those that are pitting on the back, get to their pits quicker. So it's not as big a factor as it used to be. Still a disadvantage, though.
Take a look at the list of drivers who have gone home unable to qualify fast enough to make this field. They include Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Green, Dave Marcus. Phil Parsons was unable to make it, driving the number 14 car, Billy Hagan. In cars carried by Lake Speed, he'll be at the back of the pack. There's the roof cam on Jeremy Mayfield's car and the roof cam on Morgan Shepherd. Moving to the front of the grid, there's the roof cam on Ted Musgrave's car and on Mark Martin. And the green flag is out. We are racing in the Goodies 500 at Bristol.
Wallace is having some problems getting up to speed in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. And Mark got hung on the outside. How many spots did he lose?
Well, he must have lost about 8 or 10 spots. He got up there and couldn't get down on the low groove. That's where everybody wants to be in the early part of this race. But he finally did get in line, back in about 15th position.
A couple of cars are still caught on the outside, but for the most part, it is a single file formation around the racetrack.
There was still a bit of contact between Brett Bodine and Hut Strickland. Brett Bodine in the green 26, Hut Strickland in the 23 car.
Musgrave is caught on the outside.
Yep, he's the only one right now that's caught up on the outside. Morgan Shepherd about to go under him. And Sterling Marlin is right behind Morgan. He'll try to make that pass as well. So Ted Musgrave and his spotter working together, trying to get him to the low side of the track.
Looking back now from Morgan Shepherd's car onto Sterling Marlin and Ted Musgrave.
Now every car in the field is in single file.
This is the TCI roof cam on Ted Musgrave's Family Channel 4.
Ward Burton has just moved around. Joe Nemechek has taken over the 4th position.
Harry Gant is the leader of the race, and he has led the first 7 laps, and that means that he has led more laps tonight than he has led all season. He had only led 6 coming into this event, and only twice at Pocono and the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis. Jeff Bodine is second, and Terry Labonte is third.
It's really nice to see Harry Gant, Leo Jackson, Charlie Presley, all those guys back and running well.
We've had so many storybook stories during the year this year. Of course, Jeff Gordon's win at Indianapolis. Wouldn't it be nice to see Harry Gant win a race in his?
Oh, the 12th car, Derek Cope. Heavy contact with the outside retaining wall coming off the second corner. But he maintained speed. How in the world?
And no caution.
And Kyle Petty got hung up on the outside, almost hit the wall, all 4. Folks, we're just telling you about things you can't see, but they're happening all around the racetrack.
Jeff Bodine now right on the rear spoiler of Harry Gant's number 33 Skull Bandit. All right, here's the replay now. Watch as the cars come out of the second corner onto the backstretch. Oh, contact there by Derek Cope.
And the straight arrow of Bobby Allison forward. And that jammed the cars up back behind him. There he is. The back end gets loose, trips the wall, then back with the front end into the wall.
I'll tell you one thing. I bet that car doesn't handle too well right now. Wow.
Bodine still chasing Gant. Harry eligible for $7,600 in Unocal bonus money. Of course, it was won last weekend by brother Jeff Bodine, who's running second here to Harry.
And Paul Andrews, the crew chief on the Exide battery car, telling Jeff Bodine, patient, now be patient. You're okay. But obviously, every race car driver wants to lead. They want to be out front.
Harry's closing in on some slower traffic. The first that he will lap is the 52 car, Brad Teague.
You'll never see Brad Teague in Jimmy Means' car.
Napa Auto Parts, your sponsor on the car this week.
In the first and second corners to get around him, and the 40 car is going the wrong way.
He's on the outside. That's Bobby Hamilton, the Kendall Oil car. There's the camera on top of Morgan Shepard Sitco Ford.
Morgan's running 18th. Just ahead of him is Jeff Burton, Rookie of the Year contender.
Shepard started 21st, so he has picked up 3 positions.
And there are the first 2, Harry Gant and Jeff Bodine, as they come up on another slow car. That is Lake Speed, who had to take a provisional to get into the starting lineup. So now there are 2 cars that have been lapped here in the first 19 laps of this 500-lap affair at Bristol. Terry Labonte is still running in 3rd position, then Ward Burton, the 41 car of Joe Nemechek. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bristol Raceway in Tennessee and the Goodies 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race being led by Harry Gant at number 33 over Jeff Bodine in number 7. Now we back up to a few laps ago and take a look again at
a spin coming up turn 4. It's Mike Wallace.
Traffic bearing down on him, but the spotters are doing their job, telling their drivers where the accident is, and there's proof that things happen fast. We were about to show you a replay of what happened a few laps ago, but interrupted it to bring you the live action. And that first caution comes out on lap 28, and he can't get that car rolling again.
Well, you can see that the wheel is flat. The rim is spinning, but there's no tire there. So I guess he's going to have to get the wrecker out to get it to the 5th. See the right rear tire is spinning? Watch that rim.
Spinning at the tire.
Wow. Tough break for Mike Wallace. He and Kyle Petty made some contact coming off turn 4. This is right in front of the leaders. It's going to happen. There we see the Kyle Petty right behind Mike Wallace. They made a little bit of contact. And around goes Mike. and really truly doesn't hit the wall that hard. It's just as he locked the brakes down, you can see the tires blowing. As he stops the tire, it goes across that concrete and just grinds a hole in the tire.
And there's the bump that Kyle Petty gave to Mike Wallace.
Yep, and it just sent him spinning around. Kyle had a pretty good run coming off of that turn, ran up on him and bumped him. Let's go to the pits and Jerry Punch.
And guys, about 2 laps before that happened, actually Mike Wallace and Todd Bodine, the 90 car and the 75 car, running side by side. And Kyle came upon him in turn 1 and had nowhere to go and jammed on the brakes and nearly spun his own car out. He managed to hang on to the car, trying to get by these 2 cars. So there had been a battle raging there for about 3 laps.
The 40 car of Bobby Hamilton that we told you was going backwards anyway, losing positions, is in and now going back out. And the 42 car is in.
And he stopped at the end of pit road. I don't know. I guess they're waiting for the field to go by.
We assume so.
He must be lapped. He would not be in that position then. Let's find out.
Well, Petty goes back out onto the racetrack, as does Lake Speed, who came in for a brief stop. We're under caution for the first time here in Bristol. Back with more in a moment. ESPN helicopter camera shots being brought to you by Steel, makers of a full line of outdoor power equipment, powerful, easy to use, and durable. Thanks for the overhead shots of Bristol Raceway. Now, we've been talking about the squeeze, and again, it has occurred very quickly. This is looking back from Morgan Shepherd onto Sterling Marlin.
Oh, man.
And our most recent incident occurred in turn 4 when Kyle Petty and Mike Wallace got together.
And around goes Mike and had a couple of flat tires. We're back green flag racing. And Kyle Petty has been in the pits, changed some tires. He's a lap down. He's trying to get a lap back. John, why did he get lapped?
Benny, because he was near the tail end of the field. When he came into pit, they didn't have time to change 4 tires. Kyle was telling him over the radio, just go right sides only. But they had already taken the left side lug nuts off. So he had to sit there and wait until they got the left side lug nuts back on. He wound up losing the lap anyway, but right now he is on the tail end because he's gotten around here again.
And something's wrong with John Andretti as he's down off the banking.
Right rear tire is flat. The right rear tire is flat on the STP Pontiac. Tough break for Andretti.
A young man who is trying to find a full-time ride. There you can see that it went down on the backstretch, and he just got the car out of the groove and let everybody go around.
They did a great job of getting out of the way and maintaining control of the STP Pontiac.
So John Andretti gets new rubber. John, are you there?
Yeah, Bob, he's only taking right side tires only. I'm looking at that right rear tire. I don't see a puncture mark, but you can see the rear bumper that someone had run into the back of John Andretti.
He's lost 2 laps as the battle up front continues between Harry Gant and Jeff Bodine. You can see both of them have put Kyle Petty a lap down again. Terry Labonte still running 3rd, then Joe Nemechek and Rusty Wallace. Understand that the 23 car of Hut Strickland has been in the pits.
He's still going. He made a pit stop during that caution, so he was back near the tail end of the pack. He's still in the lead lap, but he's slowing down. He might be headed into the pits.
Here comes a big group of cars being led by Dick Trickle. There's Jeff Gordon, Lake Speed, Rick Mast, Bill Elliott, Nemechek. Nemechek was running in 4th position, however, has fallen back to 10th.
There's the camera on top of Lake Speed's 4th volunteer car. See Earnhardt back there on the inside of Nemechek, taking that spot away. Earnhardt's back in about 10th spot now.
12th they're showing him, Benny.
Let's look at the telemetry on Mark Martin's car to see exactly how fast he does.
Well, it won't be quite as fast because he's on the outside trying to lap Lake Speed, so he won't go quite as fast here as he would there. He has cleared him. Earnhardt coming up now. Martin now being shown in 10th, Earnhardt up to 11th.
And that's Darrell Waltrip, the winningest active driver here at Bristol, behind the 17 car.
And we see Hut Strickland, the Smoky Joe on the apron of the racetrack as the leaders went by.
Yeah, he has been in the pits, Benny. Whatever damage he did when he clipped the wall there a moment ago, I guess he went in to get that repaired. It was reported this week that Hutt will be leaving that team at the end of this year, so Travis Carter will be naming someone else to drive the Smoking Joe's car.
It's a good battle between Trickle in the 32 and Jeff Gordon.
Like that for 6th spot.
Trickle had himself a great qualifying run here. What a short track specialist he really is.
And right in front of him, Rusty Wallace. And Ward Burton is blown going down the front straightaway. We see the smoke coming out of the Hardee's Chevrolet.
That's it. And the 43 car, John Andretti's in the wall.
Between turns 3 and 4, right up against the outer wall. Here's John Kernan.
Well, Neil, this is the right rear tire that came off of John Andretti's car earlier, and you can see he got together with the yellow car out there. They knocked the valve stem out. That's why this tire went flat.
And now he has even bigger problems because he has damaged the rear end of that car immensely and is finally off the racetrack. But John Andretti is having a tough time here in the early going.
There's a lot of damage to that car, and unfortunately, that's where they put the fuel in the car back in the left rear. So you can see where he's dragging. He's going to have a lot of trouble filling the car up with gasoline.
There's Ward Burton's Hardee's Chevrolet. He was smoking. And whether he put anything down on the racetrack in the oil, I don't know.
He was up as high as what, 4th, Ned, I believe?
Yes.
And the 16 car, Ted Musgrave, is also in for a pit stop. And there's King Richard directing John to go behind the wall so they can take a look at that car and see if they can't get it back in the race. Here's the Rick Mast car that's in for a stop. Joe Nemechek is also in.
Both of those drivers are on the Hoosier tires, so they run about 49. They're on their 50th lap right now, so I guess they wanted to come in and get those tires off, see how they're looking. Ted Musgrave was in. Of course, he's going back out, and they're under the hood of the Hardee's Chevrolet.
A little bit more serious situation for both Ward Burton and John Andretti, who caused our second caution of the evening. Back in a moment. We welcome you to Bristol Raceway in Tennessee for the Goodies 500, the 22nd race of the 31 race NASCAR Winston Cup season. And Ward Burton is having problems. Here's Jerry Punch.
Well, Bobby qualified 7th and came toward the front in a hurry. Ward, you were coming in a hurry. What happened?
I really don't know, Chuck, but Hardee's car's running great. Tires are doing good again. We just can't last long enough. One day we're going to get this thing all together, though.
Was it a valve, Ward, or something else in the engine?
It acted just like it did at Michigan last week. I think it did drop a valve.
Well, a puff of smoke. He started 7th, had just passed the Terry Labonte car to take the 3rd spot when suddenly it came apart.
Bob? All right, Jerry, so Ward will watch from the sidelines, at least for the moment, as we get set to go back to racing on lap number 54. The pace car is in, the crowd rises and cheers the green flag as it waves, and Harry Gant leads him down to resume racing. Bobby Labonte has positioned himself between Gant and Jeff Bodine. Labonte a lapped car.
Boy, Harry Gant's loving this, isn't he? Distance on Bodine while Bobby Labonte is in the middle of these cars.
Jeff Bodine, his best finish here at Bristol was a 3rd, and he's done that on 4 different occasions. Here's Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, and Dale Earnhardt as they run back in 7th, 8th, and 9th.
And right behind these guys is Darrell Waltrip, who started 16th. So he has the Western Auto Chevrolet on the move. There goes DW.
12 times he has taken the checkered flag here at Bristol. 5 times in the April race and 7 times in this one. The most recent was in 1992. His first win here was in 1978.
Oh!
And a crash involving Terry Labonte into the wall hard in turn 4.
Wow. Man, that car was running so good. The Kellogg's cornflake car was flying. We see a little fire under the car.
Terry Terry Labonte wanting, among other things, to move into the top 10 in points. He's 12th going into this race, but didn't catch a break tonight as the yellow comes out for the third time as his car is against the wall in the fourth turn.
It is a tough break for Terry now. He waited for the traffic to clear. He rolls the car down off the track, but I'm sure they got some work to do on him on that Chevrolet before he can get back out there.
And Jeff Bodine comes in the pits right behind him, so Bodine gives up his second place to get those Hoosier tires looked at.
I'll tell you what, that really surprised me that Jeff would pit this early because of the track position.
Perhaps. Jerry, all fours down there?
Exactly, Bob. All four tires. It would be unusual. Most people could go to lap 140 to 150 on fuel. But you got to remember, Jeff Bodine and Harry Gant, a lot of concern about how these neuters are going to wear. They're going to be fast, but what about the wear on the car? So they're also looking at the front of the car. Apparently, some indention on the hood of the car. They were trying to get the hood bowed back down because you can't get the front of the car clogged up. The car will definitely overheat here in Bristol.
I see he's made contact with someone and knocked the hood down on the car, and they're concerned about the car overheating.
Here's a replay of the incident involving Terry Labonte. Couldn't see whether he got help.
Well, the lake speed looked like the next car directly behind him, and whether or not there was any help there, we don't know.
See the car scrambling down on the flat part of the racetrack. Here's Rusty Wallace's view.
Definitely was contact between the 15 and the 5.
So we're under our third caution. Jerry, you have more on this?
Paul Andrews told me that when they hit the back of Harry Gant at the first caution flag, when it came out, the 7 car said the hood was crumpled in, and now we're beginning to show a little bit of water temperature. So, hey, we got a great car, but we don't want to cook it early.
Okay, that's the reason that Jeff Bodine came in, that and to get all 4 tires replaced. The lead continues to be held by Harry Gant. Now, here it is from Lake Speed's vantage point.
Boy, it didn't take much of a bump there to send him spinning because it was in the turn, and you're almost out of control when you're in the turn anyway, and just that slight bump by Lake Speed spent Terry around.
61 laps have been completed here at Bristol. Rusty Wallace has now moved to second. We'll be right back. We have resumed racing after our most recent caution, which was out for 5 laps. As you can see, Kyle Petty had his lap back, but now loses it to Harry Gant once again.
Kyle got a good start, jumped on the inside of Harry and got back out in front, but now Harry is passing back, so Kyle goes a lap down. There are 26 cars in the lead lap.
Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon are running second and third. They too have gotten around Petty. Rusty Wallace, who is a 4-time winner here at Bristol, but he has never won this race. All 4 of his victories have come in the spring event.
We can see that Harry Gant, once he got in front of Kyle Petty, just pulls away.
The 40 car of Bobby Hamilton, which had problems early, apparently has gotten them solved, Ned.
Yeah, he made a pit stop during not this last caution, Bob, but the one before, put new tires on it, made some adjustments, and he has really been coming back up through the field since then.
And Jeff Gordon has taken second from Rusty Wallace. You can see how quickly things happen and how quickly we have to make our camera cuts to show you all the action. But Jeff is ahead of Rusty now.
And there see this pack of cars going by Lake Speed. And there were a lot of cars taking advantage. Bill Elliott was passed by a couple of cars by Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip as he tried to get alongside the 15 car. Also, Bobby Hamilton was able to get by.
Might update you on the tire situation. The report from those taken off of Jeff Bodine's car was that they're showing pretty good wear, and the others should be able to run 40 or 50 more laps on the set they have on the car.
That's a report from one of the Hoosier representatives. Said they looked at the tires and said they should get another, you say, 40 or 50 laps with no problem.
Top of Morgan Shepherd's Citgo Ford. That's Craig Sachs just ahead in the U.S. Air car. So you can gain positions quickly, and you can also lose them. Look at this. Wallace just slightly out of the groove, and Jeff Gordon and Kyle Petty pass by on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Yeah, there's usually someone to fill a hole if the one opens up.
Here is Morgan Shepherd working on Greg Sachs.
19 Fords, 12 Chevrolets, 5 Pontiacs, 28 of the cars. Oh, my goodness. 20 of the cars started on Goodyear, and what was that, 8 on Hoosier? I thought they just made some contact.
And there goes Morgan around the 77, and now here comes Kenny Wallace in the 28, substituting for Ernie Irvan. That puts Morgan in the 10th position. And Dale Earnhardt are running 4th, 5th, and 6th.
So Martin was able to get by Trickle in the last few laps. Now Earnhardt's up there trying to do the same thing.
Earnhardt taking a look at the inside of Dick Trickle. Dale Earnhardt, 31 career races here at Bristol and 8 wins, including the spring race here. And in case you've forgotten, he came from 24th starting position in April to win that event. He is just all over Trickle.
That's a camera shot from our robotic camera.
Back and check out some more action behind that group of cars.
Well, there has been some heavy racing here as Ricky Rudd goes in the inside of Greg Sachs. This bunch of cars have really been going at it.
Yeah, they've got Sachs hung on the outside, and all these cars are going to try to get by.
Yeah, they'll look for that opening down on the inside, and he's going to have a tough time getting back down in the inside group. Jeff Bodine comes by now. Brett Bodine.
They also have got the 12 car hung out there. That's Derek Cope. There goes Musgrave by. Now Schrader wants to go along as well. And there's Mike Wallace. We see he's got the flash repaired on his car back on the racetrack.
There's Derek Cope in the 12 car. He had an early contact with the wall that didn't bring out a caution. And look where the leader is. He is right behind that group of cars and putting another lap on T.
Again, there's some heavy traffic right there that he's got to weave his way through. He's got about a 10-car length lead over Jeff Gordon. Now Sachs moves down out of the way, gives him running room. So they single out in front of him, so that makes the job a lot easier.
Earnhardt looked like he might have gotten the back of the 32 car. Trickle goes up the hill. Earnhardt goes by. Darrell Walters follows it.
And while that was going on, Mark Martin went by Rusty Wallace.
Here it is, down the back stretch and into 3. Boom.
Hello.
Out of my way.
Runs up and gives him a little tap. Trickle has no choice but to back off, and so 2 cars go by.
Dale Earnhardt moves to 5th position. There is 6th. But that's how much of a separation there is between that group and Harry Gant, the leader. Jeff Gordon is coming right up on Harry, though.
I don't know if it's the traffic that's slowing Harry down, or if Jeff Gordon's picking up or Harry Gant's slowing down. But you can see, obviously, he's closing up.
Yes, he is closing up in a hurry. Look at him going into the turns faster. Wonder if Gant's tires might be getting worn. Something we were concerned. He moved down to the inside. Let's Gordon go.
Yeah, he sure did. Jeff saw the opportunity that Harry gave him and took the lead.
That's exactly what we saw last night, Ned. Remember, Harry Gant ran so well, but then all of a sudden the car just started slowing down.
And so Harry Gant led the first 88 laps of this event, and now Jeff Gordon has gone to the front. Behind Harry Gant, running in 3rd position, is Mark Martin. Back with more from Bristol International Raceway in a moment. A Beautiful setting in the hills of northeast Tennessee, Bristol Raceway. They're the top 15 as we have completed 95 of 500 laps. And you will notice up in second and third position there was a change. When we went to break, Mark Martin was in third, Gant was second. Well, they have changed positions, and this is how Mark Martin did it.
Comes off the corner. He tries to get alongside Harry Gant down the back straightaway. Harry realizes these cars are much faster than he is, so he just pulls over and lets Mark Martin go by.
Harry told us on our live Speed Week show that he had a little bit of concern about those tires. Jerry, what is the situation with Harry Gant?
Bob, that's exactly what Harry was talking about in Speed Week. When the tires begin to fall off, there's no need in trying to push the car and make it up, or else you're going to be in the wall. So Charlie Preston and Crucci told Harry, back off. Let's try to make it a full fuel stop and pit when the other Goodyear cars pit. And let us take a look and see how the tires look. One car already on pit road. That's Kenny Schrader. Let's check in with John Kernan.
Schrader thought he had a right front tire going down, so he decided to pit for two tires right side rubber oval. Also, the car now is going to come around and will now be a four-tire change. They're also planning to make a chassis adjustment, try and loosen the car up. The car has been very, very tight. And Kenny Schrader making his pit stop. He's down and away.
He had just lost a lap. He'd just been lapped, had he, Ned?
He had, and now he is 2 laps down.
And he comes out and nearly collides with the 22 of Bobby Labonte, which is coming into the front stretch pits.
Yeah, that was a close call for both of them.
And Labonte has been in and out of the pits all night long.
He's had a tough time here tonight so far. He's being shown now. It's about 28 laps down.
Jeff Gordon has just lapped Jeff Burton, who is running 25th. Here's more on Jeff Burton.
Actually, Bob, we're talking about Bobby Labonte, and we told you he went to a backup car. That's the car they run in Atlanta. He's been on pit road twice for a tire rubbing a fender. They came in and changed the track bar once. They added weight in the car as far as trying to get more wedge in it. They just changed everything on the race car except the number in the last 25 or 30 laps.
There's their leader, Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin's in second. Rusty Wallace has now moved into third, and Dale Earnhardt fourth. Darrell Waltrip is now fifth.
21 cars are on the lead lap.
You see Harry Gant losing the spot to Bill Elliott as they go down in the corner.
Well, Harry's just hoping for a caution flag here before too long.
And there is Gordon, who is leading his 12th race of 1994. 2 victories, Charlotte and Indianapolis. He started in 12th position, and of course, he is at the highest he has been, and he has led the last 15 laps.
And he's right behind a bunch of heavy traffic. See Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt
as they battle for third position. And the point squeeze comes to mind here as Rusty tries to catch Dale for that NASCAR Winston Cup championship. That's for Rusty's car looking back on Dale.
Oh, and the 15 car spins all around right in front of Wallace and Earnhardt. He makes a 360, keeps going.
Caution is out.
Amazing how quickly these drivers have to react, and most of them are able to. Here comes Jeff.
Here's Musgrave trying to beat him back to the line.
And he does. And I think maybe Jeff Burton might have got.
Yeah, that was close, but I think maybe he did. The 77 car of Greg Sachs got one of his 2 laps back.
There's our second place car, Mark Martin. Now I think we'll be seeing all the cars pit, don't you, Ned?
No, I don't think there's any question. Yes, they'll be coming in.
Tough break for Kenny Schrader. He made a pit stop, changed 4 tires. Now these guys get to do it for free.
Steve Grissom had just made a pit stop about 5 laps ago, and here come the leaders down pit road right now.
Being led by Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin is behind. Here comes Rusty, Dale, Darrell, Trickle, Elliott, Mast, Gant. Here's Jerry Funch.
As you watch all the leaders pit here on the front stretch, I will remind you, this is a big break for Harry Gant. They were going to pit him next lap 5 when the caution came out. A big break for Gant. He would have pitted on the green and lost at least 2 laps. Both of the front runners getting 4 tires. Jeff Gordon, the first one off the jacks. He is down pit road at 35 miles an hour. Also out of the pits, Mark Martin. Here's Rusty Wallace. George Gordon, Martin, and Wallace. Let's check into the back pits and John Curtis.
Morgan Shepherd is in. Right side tires changed by the Wood Brothers. The car is a little bit tight. As you see, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt flash down the backstretch. They will make a chassis adjustment in the left rear on Morgan Shepherd's 604. And now Morgan is finally down in a way that several cars come off pit road here on the backstretch.
Brett Bodine pulling out just ahead of him. And we have a replay of the spin involving Lake Speed from his roof cam. And keeps it going. So pit stops continuing on the back stretch, but the field is reassembling for a resumption of action here in the Goodies 500 at Bristol Raceway. Missed one lap of competition as Jeff Gordon continues to lead. He has 3 top 10 finishes in the last 5 races. Although his 2 wins have come on super speedways at Charlotte and Indianapolis, Jeff Gordon is no stranger to this type of racing. He cut his teeth, of course, in sprint cars and midgets on tracks like Winchester in Indiana. That's very similar to this.
And Salem, Indiana.
Yep.
Similar racetrack similar to this.
On top of Mark Martin's car, Mark is running second.
And Dale Earnhardt is third. Rusty Wallace is fourth. Dale Jarrett is fifth. Darrell Walker sixth. Bill Elliott seventh. Jeff Bodine is eighth.
You saw that John Andretti has come back into the race. Now a little telemetry.
Did I see 138 miles an hour?
36 of 38, yep.
Let's watch as he accelerates down the front straightaway.
Yep, 138.
138.
Down to a little over 100. Big pack of cars. Lake Speed, Harry Gant, Rick Mast. And they're all passing Lake Speed, including Todd Bodine in 75. There goes Sterling Marlin.
Lake Speed is being shown 4 laps down.
Kenny Wallace in the 28 car, the Howland car.
He's 15th, Benny.
You know, Kenny Wallace is not trying to be a hero. He just simply wants to bring this car home with a good finish today.
Mark Martin is about to pass Jeff Gordon. He does it.
Hey, we have the 3rd leader of the afternoon.
Gordon slipped just a little bit coming off turn 2. Martin had a good run on him and just moved right on by.
I think someone said Mark Martin is the defending champion of this race.
That was part of his 4 in a row last year, and this is the 14th race that Mark has led in 94. Martin and Wallace, of course, in a heated battle in the points positions.
You can see Mark's the rear of the car bottom out as he comes off that second corner.
Todd Bodine, Kenny Wallace, Brett Bodine, and Joe Nemechek as they battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And the 13th place car is Morgan Shepherd, with whom we ride.
There we see the shot down the back straightaway. Todd Bodine was up closer to the front. He had some problem down in turn 1 a few laps ago. Got up the racetrack. Several cars got by him. Greg Sachs on the outside, and he makes the pass.
Kenny Wallace will try to do that same thing.
Well, we've been talking about tires all night. Let's see how the wear is going. Here's Dr. Punch.
You won't wonder why Harry was slow when I show you this. Now, the right rear tire was completely worn out. The left front was beginning to wear. But let me show you the left rear. This is the left rear. You see the heat here in the tire? That is where the tire has begun to blister. As I roll the tire along, you see the heat in the inside of the tire was beginning to peel away some of the tread. And Harry Gant, in about 3 laps, would have been in serious trouble. Bob?
So he did need that caution period to allow him to come in. Look at this action.
These guys split the 77 car going in turn 3. Ricky Rudd was able to get by Musgrave. There comes Jeremy Mayfield. The 98 car is the Fingerhut car. That's the camera on top of that automobile.
These cars trying to stay ahead of the leader. Mayfield is already a lap down. stay on the lead lap. Now here is Darrell Waltrip looking to the inside of Dale Jarrett for 5th place. And Darrell has it.
And one thing to put Jarrett up there in 5th place, he only changed 2 tires during that pit stop. He's pitting on the backstretch, so they only took on 2 tires. Perhaps hurting him a little bit right now, but it did give him good track position. But he's losing some of his positions right now. Bill Elliott went by for 6th. Now Jarrett drops back to 7th.
Since Jeff Bodine made that pit stop, his car has just not been up to speed like it was early in the race. I don't know if it's the overheating problem he's concerned about or what the problem is there. We see Harry again. He's changed 4 tires. He's back racing again, trying to pass Dale Jarrett for what position? About 8th?
Yep. Harry's trying to make the most of the tires while they're good under him. Inside of Jarrett, and Harry Gant takes away the 7th spot. Go back to this battle involving Ted Musgrave, Jeremy Mayfield, as we show you an Autolite field summary. For position is between the 10 and the 16. Mayfield is not on the same lap as Ricky Rudd and Ted Musgrave. Musgrave and Rudd are running 20th and 21st.
They were just about to go. In fact, Ted Musgrave had gone a lap down, but he beat the leader back to the start-finish line during the last caution. He got back in the lead lap, and Rudd was just not far from going a lap down before that last caution.
I'll tell you what, if these guys don't pick up the pace, Ned, they'll have to do the same thing again, because Martin, the leader, is gaining on them considerably. He's in the same straightaway as these 2 cars.
Earnhardt and Wallace are still going at it for 3rd as another lap is put on Blake Speed.
Blake is now 5 laps down, back in 28th position.
That new uniform of Rusty Wallace, that nice gold uniform. How about that? First time I've seen it.
I'm sure it's a lot cooler than that black that he's been wearing.
Yeah. Look at him flex his right arm there. Did you see that? I can't imagine making 2,000 corners on this racetrack. Well, the lead continues to be held by Mark Martin, who after his win a year ago finished 21st in the spring race here at Bristol. Back in a moment. We are under caution for the 5th time this evening. Jeff Bodine came in for a pit stop. Some pit stops also being accomplished on the backstretch. Mike Wallace going out. We're under caution because of a spin involving Hut Strickland.
Going in turn 3, I did not see the accident. I saw the aftermath. He backed in the wall with the right rear. We saw John Andretti back in the wall over there with the left rear. This Hut Strickland's damage was to the right rear of the car. There we see the Smoke and Joe car in the back pits.
They got the hood up. So that's going to be in for a while as damage is repaired on that car. And Jerry has a report on the pit stop that was made by Jeff Bodine.
On the previous caution on lap 110, Bodine came in and only took 2 tires on the right side. Now, that didn't help the car very much. He went back out, and when the green came out, Benny Parsons noted that Bodine wasn't running that well. Well, the car was so loose, Benny, he couldn't drive it, so he was obligated to come in this time and change all 4 tires. Hopefully, that'll tighten the car up a little bit for him. He was having trouble keeping the car on the racetrack entering the corner.
Jeff, one of the 4 drivers, and they have had a very good year so far. Ford has led 4,755 of the 5,973 laps, 80%, while Chevy has led 20%, and Pontiac only 16 laps so far in 94. The manufacturer's standings indicate that Ford is just 2 or 3, I believe, 3 races. If they have wins, they could clinch the championship. 168 to 145 is the point standings with Pontiac at 86. Oh, we're about to go back to green as the crowd is up once again.
And this is an enthusiastic crowd, isn't it?
This is as good as it gets as far as crowds are concerned.
I think I'll stand up and watch the race myself.
The 22 car of Bobby Labonte continues to have problems, and it is on the front stretch pit as we are within a half lap of going green.
Harry Gant, the pollster, also made a pit stop that last time.
By the way, Labonte is 32 laps down. Well, they rise again, Benny. Here we go. Green flag is waving on lap 148. Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Darrell Waltrip, and now an attempt by Earnhardt to take over second position.
And he does it.
He does.
Jeff Gordon was trying to get by Derek Cope on the outside when he came off the second corner. He got a little bit wide, and Earnhardt ducked under to take over the second spot. And meanwhile, Jeff Burton is trying to get by Mark Martin.
Jeff still trying to get his lap back. He is running 22nd. Many drivers have come from a couple of laps down to finish very well here.
And we can see right now with the fresh tires, heavy traffic all the way around this racetrack.
Ricky Rudd got himself caught on the outside there, lost about 5 or 6 positions.
Todd Bodine's running 12th. Make that 11th. He started 36th, so another good run after a poor qualifying effort by Todd. He has been up as high as 9th. There are a couple of the Hoosier drivers, Gant and Bodine. They started on the front row and are trying to weave back up through the traffic.
Got caught on the outside. He's losing positions back there as well. Well, there's a lot of racing going on everywhere. Here's Todd Bodine. Lost a position. Now he's trying to get it back, going on the outside.
Wow. He just drove in on the outside, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
While we're watching that, a little contact there between Musgrave and Bodine. While we're watching this action, both Jeff Burton and Derek Cope got their laps back. So now 23 cars are on the lead lap. Here's another battle. That's Jeremy Mayfield. Going to the inside of Kenny Wallace.
Kenny Wallace is having some problems. He's hung on the outside. I thought once he got back in line, he'd be okay. But once he got back in line, other cars passed him. So he is not handling as well as he would like, obviously.
He's in 20th position. Kenny Wallace is in the Haviland Ford.
Once again, we see Ricky Rudd hung on the outside.
Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and Darrell Waltrip. We'll show you another field summary. Dale Earnhardt failed to lead a lap at Michigan last weekend for only the 7th time this season.
Oh, we got a spin coming up.
Big problem here, but amazingly, nobody's hurt real bad. Kenny Wallace was involved.
What happened, Dale Jarrett and Todd Bodine got together coming off of turn 4. Jarrett was on the outside of Bodine. They got together coming off the turn there, and that just jammed everything up behind there.
Kenny Wallace did a 360, kind of like Lake Speed did a little bit ago, and round he went.
Mike Wallace was also in the mix. Let's see who else.
Well, here, see, Todd Bodine was actually in front of Dale Jarrett and came back up there. Jarrett hit him a little bit, and then they just jammed up behind. It was sort of a chain reaction type of a deal.
Brett Bodine and Kenny Wallace spun Jerry Punch is in Mark Martin's pit.
And Martin will pit, as will Dale Earnhardt, further up pit road toward turn 1. We expect to see a 4-tire change here. Right side tires already coming off. And we'll make a chassis adjustment in the right rear. And around and about around to the corner. Gordon is down. He's out of pit road. And here comes Rusty Wallace. He is down. Here is Mark Martin as they dash back to turn 1. It'll be Earnhardt, Wallace, and then Martin. Let's go to the back pits and John Kernan.
Michael Walker has already changed 2 tires. He's back out on the racetrack. You're looking at Sterling Marlin. He's a 4-tire change. Also, he's had some contact out there on the racetrack. The grill was pushed in. They have pulled that out.
Sterling Marlin rolling back on the racetrack. Did Jeff Gordon get 2 or 4 tires?
Evidently changed 2 tires.
He was out awfully quick.
Joe Nemechek will be leading the race. Ted Musgrave should be in second place.
I'm going to take a look at this from Morgan Shepherd's car. Whoa.
So it looks like Brett Bodine and Brad T got the worst of that crash because Brett Bodine hit pretty doggone hard.
This is our 6th caution period of the evening.
Kenny Schrader got some damage as well. We see him trying to pull the Bears head back out where it looks like a...
And there is the damage sustained by Brett Bodine's Quaker State Ford in that most recent incident. Back with more after this. Bob Jenkins, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, Dr. Jerry Punch back at Bristol Raceway. We were under caution once again. Now, I want you to ponder this for a while. The answer is not Darrell Waltrip. Who holds the best per race average finish among drivers who have started at least 20 events here at Bristol? Think about that for a while, and I'll give you the answer in a moment as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. And up front is Joe Nemechek, leading for the first time in his NASCAR Winston Cup career. By the way, this is the 5th anniversary of Hedrick Racing. They came here 5 years ago tonight in Bristol and began their Winston Cup career with Larry Pearson behind the wheel.
Kyle Petty getting back in the lead lap once again. He has done that several times tonight when others were leading. Let's see if he can stay out in front of Nemechek.
Ed Musgrave is right behind Joe. We're watching from the roof cam.
Dale Jarrett is 3rd. Morgan Shepherd is 4th. Jeff Gordon is 5th. Those first 4 cars did not make pit stops. They had all stopped during the last caution. So they figured they didn't need a pit stop this time. They like that track position.
Boy, track position is everything here. This is from Ted Musgrave's car. You see where he touches the brake going in the corner. Accelerates down the back straightaway, 135 miles an hour.
Down to about 105. And about 8,500 RPM before the break. Dale Jarrett is right behind, in fact, beside of Ted Musgrave, and Dale Jarrett goes to 2nd.
Dale started back in 29th position. Ted Musgrave, his car not handling too good right now. Rick Sachs comes back by. I don't know if it's handling or what it is, but he's...
Oh, my goodness. Dick Trickle almost spun down the front straightaway.
It's as close as you can come to reckon without.
Strickland comes back out in the Smokin' Joe's car as we watch all this action. Bodine brothers there. Jeff and Rod. A moment ago. There's Strickland out on the inside. Bobby Hamilton has been running up on that outside for a good portion of this race, and his car sticks up there.
I'll tell you what, if he could get that groove worked out, he's got a spot on the racetrack that no one else is trying to run there. Yeah. Rusty Wallace trying to take a spot away from Michael Waltrip, and he does.
Ooh, and the leader spins in turn 1 as Joe Nemechek went on the inside of Kyle Petty. Kyle didn't know he was there, I guess. And anyway, they spin. Caution is out.
I don't know whether Nemechek sustained any damage or not. I think maybe he got by unscathed, but he, of course, lost a lot of track position as Kyle Petty is now back underway also.
Greg Sachs got his lap back during this little deal.
All right, let's look at it again.
Here we go down the front straightaway. Nemechek gets a run off of turn 4, moves on the inside of Kyle Petty. Kyle comes down into the groove like he normally would. Perhaps didn't know that Nemechek was there. Nemechek hits him, spins him around, and they do a little other touching there. And there's Greg Sachs getting by Dale Jarrett as Jarrett takes the lead, and everybody gets by these two cars and goes on around.
And Jerry Punch is in Joe Nemechek's pit.
Well, Joe Nemechek was just getting ready to maybe take it easy a little bit and try to be easy on those Hoosier tires, but apparently he's going to take it easier than he'd like. He's on pit road now, changing all 4 tires. The grill completely missing from the front of the car. They may want to put some wire back across that. They will change right side and now left side tires. You see the contact point where he hit Kyle Petty, and the entire front grill is missing in front of the radiator, but he is down and away after a 4-tire change.
Ed Musgrave pulls out right behind him. Well, let's take a look at the rookie points. And Nemechek is within 5 of Jeff Burton. Steve Grissom is 3rd in the rookie points. Andretti is 4th, and Mike Wallace is in 5th. Who else is involved in this battle? Ward Burton, Loy Allen, and Jeremy Mayfield with 100.
I'll tell you what, Joe Nemechek had some problems starting out the year, but the last few races, he has really been up front.
You bet he has. Back with more live from Bristol International Raceway. Welcome back to Bristol. Which driver holds the best per race average finish among the drivers that have started at least 20 races here at Bristol International? Dan, you want to venture a guess?
Well, you know, I would have thought maybe it'd been Darrell Waltrip, but maybe we go back a little bit further than that to BP.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Benny Parsons.
You're kidding.
7.583 average finish in 24 starts. Congratulations.
I wish he'd paid more money. Wow.
Jerry Punch is with Terry Labonte.
Well, the driver of the Kellogg Chevrolet sits on top of the pit box, and Terry, not where you wanted to be. They work on the car behind you. How bad is the car hurt?
It's pretty bad. The bent the rear end, the trailing arms, the control arms. It was a shame. Our Kellogg Chevy was running good. Lake Speed, I was trying to get by him. He was up there at the front, several laps down, and I got into the back of him, so I guess he paid me back getting in turn 3.
If you see steam coming from the Kellogg's car, that's why. Terry Labonte just jumped out of the car a minute ago and sitting up here trying to cool off in the evening breeze, but he's still quite a bit hot. Bob?
And there's some damage on Mark Martin's left rear. What caused that?
I don't know.
I'd say it's one of these chain reaction deals that we've seen. Somebody jammed the brakes and had to slow down right quick, and somebody else didn't.
And once again, I thought we were going back green flag racing this time, but
not yet.
1 lap to go.
At 7:50 tomorrow morning, 4:50 a.m. on the West Coast. Join us for the Grand Prix of Belgium Formula 1 race from Spa. And as you saw during Speed Week earlier this evening, Rubens Barrichello will be on the pole for that race, and Michael Schumacher will start alongside the front row.
I read that he qualified on a wet track with slick tires. Took a chance.
There are the top 5 qualifiers. Spa, of course, has a history of rainy and foggy weather, so maybe that's the conditions under which they qualified. But anyway, Barrichello on the pole in the Jordan tomorrow for the Grand Prix of Belgium. All right, we're ready now to go back to racing here at Bristol on lap 184. Dale Jarrett has the lead. Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Mark Martin are trailing. Dale Jarrett's 17th race here at Bristol, the 5th race that he has led here, and his best Bristol finish was a 2nd in April of '92.
To the late Alan Kowicki. Go ahead, man.
Outside pole sitter. Ooh, and he and Kenny Schrader get together.
And that sets off again a chain reaction, and everybody gets by all right.
Kyle Petty moving around down Kenny Schrader. Kenny Schrader made that unscheduled pit stop early and is 3 laps down.
This began way back in the 3rd turn.
Schrader gets down on the apron of the racetrack, and they come back coming off 4. They get together again, and we can see Kyle Petty, Sterling Marlin. They all started checking up to avoid the crash.
Dick Trickle way back there almost got into the wall. Boy, it happens quick here.
Jeff Gordon closing in on Jarrett.
Yeah, now Jarrett has about 25 or 30 laps more on his tires than does Gordon. Don't have much of a difference that night. Plus, Jeff Gordon has been fast all night.
Here's another group of cars battling for position. Bobby Hamilton looking to the inside of Ted Musgrave.
And that's not your groove. You're supposed to be on the outside.
Like that Pontiac will go just about wherever he wants to put it.
Derek Hope and Brett Bodine also racing with Musgrave and Hamilton. Jeff Bodine going inside of Darrell Waltrip and picking up 6th position.
Yeah, I was worried about Jeff Bodine earlier in the race about 75 laps ago. I think I don't have to worry anymore. The car is running well.
Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin are running 4th and 5th.
And Rusty Wallace was struggling with his car at the beginning of the race, but on that first pit stop, they got on that right rear adjustment and started adjusting on the chassis, and they adjusted and they adjusted and they adjusted. A huge adjustment, and it looks like it's really working for Rusty because his car much faster now than earlier in the race.
And boy, that team is so famous for that. He knows how he wants the race car to feel, and normally he knows what it's going to take to get it to feel that way, so he tells them, okay, put so many rounds of lead in it or whatever the case might be. Jeff Gordon now, as we see Mark Martin really putting the pressure on Rusty Wallace, and right in front of them, Jeff Gordon putting the pressure on Dale Jarrett there. The first 5 cars that you can see out Martin's windshield.
And Fords are battling for 4th and 5th. We showed you the statistic regarding how many laps Ford has led this year. But right now, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are Chevys. Oh, and Jeff Gordon passes Dale Jarrett and gets the lead.
Made it look easy.
See the hood flapping on that 8 car. Remember last week when Jeremy Mayfield lost the hood on his car? If NASCAR sees that, Mr. Burton will be in the pits quickly. As a matter of fact, the guy at the flagman has the black flag in his hand. Now he's already been black flagged.
Boy, it was a miracle that somebody wasn't hurt from that incident last week involving Jeremy Mayfield when the thing sailed off the car and flew through the air like a kite. Dale Earnhardt goes to 2nd, passing Dale Jarrett, but it landed in an area that was unoccupied and nobody was hurt. Now, Burton gave up 23rd position there, and of course has gone a lap down. And look at the traffic jam at 4.
Kenny Wallace got tagged going in 3, almost spun out. Ooh. And now he and Morgan Shepherd almost get together down in 1, but meanwhile, everybody's still going forward.
Now watch this jam up as they move through the 3rd turn and go into 4. And Kenny does a nice job saving it.
And now Morgan Shepherd's headed to the pits.
Yes, Morgan Shepherd evidently has a flat tire because of that. And Dale Earnhardt has taken the lead.
Now, this is how Dale Jarrett lost the lead to Jeff Gordon a few laps ago in turn 3.
He saw that Jeff had a good run on him going into the turn. He just gave him room down there, not taking any chances. And Jeff, with the faster car, moved on around.
And now we can see that Earnhardt, in fact, has the lead. He's taking it away from Jeff Gordon, and Rusty Wallace trying to get by Dale Jarrett for that 3rd spot.
Good battle back here for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Morgan Shepherd has completed his pit stop, and he said go forward, going back out. He's a couple of laps down. Rusty, I don't think there's any question what he's faster than Dale Jarrett, and he's going to make the fast maybe going into turn 3. But look at Jeff Bodine shooting by Mark Martin. Bodine is on the move.
Bodine trying his best to get underneath this 18 car.
Look at how Jeff Bodine has moved up from lap 123 when he was 12. Now with 203 laps completed, he is up to 5th position and trying to take over 4th from Dale Jarrett.
This time he'll get him going into turn 3. Jarrett will back off, won't fight him, and Mark Martin will come right in there too. Almost, not quite.
That's one reason that Dale Jarrett did not fight any more than he did, because if he had tried to drive in on the outside of the 7th car, he was going to lose at least one more position. And he's going to lose that position now anyway if Mark Martin gets a run.
Boy, Morgan Shepherd come in there with new tires on and almost ran over Dale Jarrett, but Morgan did a good job of going high on the racetrack and not hitting him. You can see what those new tires will do. Morgan just came out of the pits. He's 3 laps down now.
Shepherd had to brake, and that almost created a problem for Darrell Waltrip.
Now those used tires that Dale Jarrett have is really showing up.
And there is the leader, Dale Earnhardt, who has finished in the top 10 at Bristol 73% of the time, 22 top 10 finishes in 30 Bristol starts, and this is the 25th time that he has led here at the Highbanks. We'll be right back. Laps, and Jeff Gordon tries to wrestle the lead away from Dale Earnhardt, but can't do it.
Look at Earnhardt up on the high side. Is he letting Jeff Gordon go by, or is he trying to find him another groove, man?
I think he's trying to find him another groove, Benny. He realizes that Gordon is faster down on the inside, so he's trying to find him a groove up there. And while Gordon's trying to get around him, here comes Rusty Wallace. He's going to make the pass for second.
So Rusty moves up a spot, and Wallace leads all drivers in short track points, earns thus far in 1994 by 51 over Dale Earnhardt.
Look at that groove that Earnhardt is running. That's the highest I've seen anyone here in 2 years.
Other than Bobby Hamilton, that we've seen him running up there some tonight.
There is Jeff Bodine, who reasserts himself in this race, moving up to 4th. There is Mark Martin running back in 5th spot.
If Earnhardt gets that groove working for him, it's adios, because the traffic will be no problem up there.
That's exactly right. He goes in low, lets you drift up in the center of the corner, and it's working for him here right now.
Oh, Jeff Gordon spins after being hit by Jeff Bodine. Big crash on the backstretch. Gordon went in hard.
Yes, he came off the 2nd corner, just like you said, and evidently he got off the gas, or Jeff Bodine really got a run and nailed Jeff Gordon as he came off the corner, and around went Jeff, and bam!
Big time damage. That's too bad. Jeff had a good run going. Let's take a look at it. Coming off 2.
There we see Jeff Gordon and Jeff Bodine, and bam! And watch just how much force that he hits that wall with.
Are in the pits.
And it's our 8th caution of the evening. Jerry.
Dale Earnhardt, our leader, takes the champion's pit spot all the way at the end of pit road. We're watching 3, 2, and 7. Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Jeff Bodine, as they will all 3 pit here on the first stretch. Back up there.
I tell you what, Rusty Wallace is going to let that right side down so fast, I thought they had changed the tires, and he is moving. Meanwhile, the 3 car, they're changing the left side tires. Is he going to be able to move first? No. Rusty Wallace goes out. Earnhardt is now 2nd.
Bodine 3rd, then Waltrip. And here's John Curtin in the back pits.
Well, as Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt streak by along with Jeff Bodine, Dale Jarrett has just completed a 4-tire change. They also took a round wedge out of the right rear.
35 miles an hour is the speed limit on pit road. Jarrett trying carefully not to exceed that. Let's look at some replays. Here is how Jeff Gordon got into the wall once again.
It looks like he might have not gotten off of turn 2. Is certainly not as good as Jeff Bodine. Bodine really had a run coming off of there and just ran right into the back of Jeff Gordon.
Here it is from another angle.
You see the flaps come up.
We We understand that Jeff Bodine is being placed at the end of the longest line.
For aggressive driving, overly aggressive driving.
They continue to work on Jeff Gordon's car as Jeff Bodine is being penalized here for over-aggressive driving. We'll be right back with more from Bristol. I'm here at Bristol. We'll go green in one lap. Let's talk to Jeff Gordon. Here's Jerry.
Well, Jeff has climbed out of the DuPont Chevrolet, and Jeff, a tough break for you. What happened out there?
Well, you know, we took 2 tires, and we didn't have as fresh tires as some of those other guys out there. And I was getting ready to let Jeff go by me. He was obviously faster. And I don't know if he got me loose or what, but, you know, I got loose. I had to get out of the gas, and he got in the back of us.
How bad's the car hurt?
Oh, it's bad, you know. I mean, we hit the back end and the inside wall back there pretty hard. You know, I could barely get in here on pit road, so it's going to be a while. You know, we had a great run going, and it's a shame. Bristol just has not been our place. We run good here. We lead every time we come here, and we just can't get the brakes.
Ray Evernham told me this morning they have never finished a race at Bristol, Tennessee, and that record remains intact.
I was very impressed that Jeff Gordon said he got out of the gas.
And as a result, NASCAR has rescinded the penalty on Jeff Bodine. He's in 3rd place now.
Okay, we'll make that very clear. They did not carry through with the penalty that they threatened.
I think they went down and talked to Jeff Gordon, and once they understood what happened, that he had slipped a little bit coming off of the turn. Jerry?
They originally thought Jeff Bodine was over-aggressive in his driving, and Jeff Bodine immediately on the radio said, "Hey, Gordon just slowed down," and I ran into him and said, "Dadgummit, I'm sorry. That's what Jeff Bodine said on the radio. And you heard Gordon a minute ago say he got loose, and when his car got loose, he slowed abruptly, and that's when Bodine got into him. So it was certainly not intentional, thus the rescinding of the penalty.
Very good. Bodine runs in 3rd. The leader of the race is Rusty Wallace. Then Dale Earnhardt, Jeff, Darrell Waltrip.
And Mark Martin is in 5th place. Darrell Waltrip is 4th. Mark Martin is 5th. Bill Elliott 6th. Harry Gant is 7th. Rick Mast is 8th. Joe Nemechek is 9th. Dale Jarrett 10th. Sterling Marlin 11th.
And here is Bodine going to the inside of Earnhardt and taking 2nd position away. Now Bodine sets his sights on the leader, Rusty Wallace, who has now led 15.
Oh, and a spin up here in turn 4.
Jeremy Mayfield is sliding down the banking, and everybody else is going to get by okay. And I don't think he touched anything.
And no caution yet, Bob.
The car is way down.
Oh, and he's coming up front of the leader.
Man, oh, wow. Man, scared me to death.
But he got, everything's okay.
Man, oh, man. And looky here at Jeff Bodine. He has caught Rusty Wallace. I think Rusty's spotter told him, look out for Jeremy Mayfield. I think he slowed down. That's one reason that Jeff Bodine was able to catch him as fast as he did.
As I was saying, Rusty has now led 15 of the last 16 short track races. Let's take a look at this again.
Bodine got, okay.
Jeremy just went in the corner and lost control and spun right in front of all these cars, and only great driving saved him from getting ahead again.
And there's been a lead change, Bob, while we were showing that replay. Jeff Bodine got around Rusty Wallace.
Jeff Bodine is now the new leader. He has led already tonight.
Watch this. He goes up high, and Bodine goes by.
Now, remember, we have an in-car camera with Jeremy Mayfield or a roof cam. Watch what happens.
Got in there and hit the apron with the left front tire and just spun the car out. Now, meanwhile, Jeff Bodine can probably run a little faster than he is right now, but he's in the lead. He's just going to stay and run that pace, trying to save those tires as he can.
Jeremy Mayfield was only 1 lap down when he spun. He was in 21st position. He is still in 22nd position, but he is now 2 laps down. There's only one car. There are 20 cars in the lead lap and only one car that's one lap down, and that is Kyle Petty.
Battle for 4th place. Darrell Waltrip and Mark Martin.
And Martin might get it going into the turn. Down on the inside. Darrell's not going to fight him too much. He knows it's too early in the race to be fighting someone off there.
And another battle here involves Michael Waltrip and Bobby Hamilton.
Pontiacs.
This is for 13th. Hamilton has 13th, Michael 14th, then Rudd.
Should be in the 15th position. There's Derek Cope right behind them in the Bobby Allison straight arrow board. Amazing. He hit the wall early in the race, and he's still out there in the lead lap.
All these guys in the lead lap, including Derek Cope and Todd Bodine. Todd tries to get to the inside of Cope in one, and he does.
See Kenny Walls behind this duo. Ted Musgrave
Approaching the halfway mark. They've completed 247 laps. 3 from the halfway point with Jeff Bodine leading. There's 3rd and 4th. Earnhardt and Martin. Martin goes into the inside and gets it. Darrell Waltrip closes in on Dale.
Earnhardt was using that higher line there. Now he goes back up there again. He's going to try that one more time.
And look who else is using that high line. Darrell Waltrip. Running extremely high down in 1 and 2. Much higher than 3 and 4.
Ram field summary. Next time, cross flags will be shown by Doyle Ford, the flag man, and we'll signify the halfway point. By the way, Jeff Bodine is sort of on a hot and cold streak. He's the current leader. He has 2 wins, but also a 31st, 33rd, 39th, and a 29th in his last 6 races.
He either does real good or real bad.
That's right. On the right now as Darrell Waltrip will go by. Well, we have completed now the halfway point, and the race settles down into a rather routine affair, although nothing is ever routine at Bristol. We'll be right back. No baseball? Sure there is. The Little League World Series, and you can see the final game tonight at 10:30 on the Deuce, and at noon tomorrow on ESPN. Rain delay in Williamsport, Pennsylvania earlier today is the reason why it was running late, but you can see it tonight and again tomorrow with Cal Northridge against Venezuela. That Northridge team is from the area that the earthquake occurred in?
Exactly. They had all kinds of problems there. Do they have a nickname or something? I read something about that.
Yeah,
I can't remember the nickname.
The Shockers or the Rockers or something. I don't know.
Shockers, I think. You're right.
14th and 15th here, Michael Waltrip and Todd Bodine. Jeff Bodine is the leader of the race.
He just put a lap on the other Bodine, Brett Bodine. Now there's 19 cars on the lead lap, which is still pretty good. We're more than halfway through this race.
As we watch Todd Bodine chasing Michael Waltrip. And there's the 40 car up in the high groove once again.
Dale Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip, I should say, are 4th and 5th.
As we watch Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Bodine has lapped Derek Cope, so that's another car that wasn't a lead lap, a lap down.
18 in the lead lap. The next car, the 18th car, is Kenny Wallace. He's about 3 seconds in front of Jeff Bodine.
Waltrip has been so successful here at Bristol and on short tracks in general for that matter. Now here's Bill Elliott and Harry Gant racing together for 6th.
Harry Gant was our pole sitter. Green and white number 33. In his last race here at Bristol.
Elliott's teammate, Jimmy Spencer, we mentioned earlier, did not make the show. The 27 car went home. Now here's the Busch Beer race recap. The leader is Jeff Bodine, having led the last 25 laps.